So hi everyone, today we'll try to understand what are GANs. So it is a very prominent name in space of generative modeling, and you must have heard of the concept of deepfakes and many more things that are based on GANs. So basically, GANs stands for Generative Adversarial Network. So let's first of all understand what is adversarial. So an adversarial system constitute of opposing powers or players that have motives very different from each other. So like for example, considering the game of boxing, so both the players that are involved in boxing have different motives. They both wish to win, and eventually only one of them can win. So there is a tussle between them going on every time in the moment. So one person's win is another person's loss. Every both the fighters are trying to outperform each other, something that you can see in this particular GIF. So how this particular concept is related to GANs? So GANs are constitute of two particular networks. One is generator, other is a discriminator. So generator is nothing but it takes up some random values and tries to produce fake images of the data set for which we wish to train a GAN on. And a discriminator does nothing. The discriminator takes the image generated by a generator as an input, and it tries to detect whether the image that has been generated is fake or not. So it's more of a binary classifier you can think of. A zero means it's fake, one means it's not fake, it's real. So where is that adversarial system, the particular word adversarial coming in GANs? So as would have understood, both generator and discriminator compete against each other in this particular training session. So the discriminator wish to minimize the classification error, real versus fake. So we would be inputting some portion of real images, some portion of fake images generated by the generator to the discriminator to train the discriminator, so that the discriminator should be able to minimize the classification loss. It should be very well know कि, okay, this is real or this is fake. And the generator wish to maximize the classification error, the same error that discriminator is trying to minimize. This is because we are trying to generate fake images, and we wish we wish the generator wishes the discriminator कि it is not able to detect कि whether the image provided by the generator is fake or not. So eventually, that is why the word adversarial coming into the picture, that both discriminator generator are trying have completely opposite motives in this particular training. So let's understand a basic flow chart for GANs. So a random vector is generated, can be random. It has nothing related to network for now. This random array is fed to a generator that generates images. The generated image that would be called as a fake image would be mixed with a bag of real images. So we would be generating a batch of fake images. A batch of real images will take from the training data set. We'll mix them together, and then we'll feed it to the discriminator to detect whether the images are fake or real. This discriminator will provide feedback to the generator to improve the quality of the generated image. So if it is producing poor quality images, the detector will be easily able to guess कि, okay, these are fake images. And by the time with the same error, even discriminator is also trying to learn कि, okay, from the next time, if it is marking some fake images as real, the next time it should not repeat the same mistake. So both the networks are getting trained, both the networks are getting feedback and improving gradually using backpropagation. Eventually there comes a point where the generator becomes a pro liar. That means ki it is generating images very similar to the real data set that we have after training, and the discriminator is just not able to make out ki, okay, whether the image is real or not. So eventually in such cases, if you can think of, the loss won't be zero, the loss would be pretty high. So because the discriminator is just not able to make sense ki, okay, what will be the input and output, so you really can't make sense out of the loss ki, whether the model has trained or not. It's just the intuition that you need to follow. Once the system reaches a Nash equilibrium, so Nash equilibrium I already discussed in a previous video, you can go and watch. The discriminator is detached from the system ki, okay, now your work has been done, and it's just a generator that we would be using for generating images. It does make sense, because discriminator was somehow getting used just to train a generator only, to provide feedback ki, okay, the images that you're generating are worth it or not. So that is what GANs are all about.